All right. Hi, Sreoshi. How are you doing?
I'm good, ma'am. Thank you. How are you?
I am doing fine. So, we recently got the news that you got placed in HSBC. So, congratulations, first of all.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So, Sreoshi, today we have got together in order to understand your journey into the field of analytics. So, let's start with your educational background.
Yes, ma'am. So I did my bachelor's in economics from Ashutosh College. That was in Kolkata, and then after that, I did my master's in economics as well from Calcutta University. And after that, at that time, I was enrolled at Ivy Professional School only, and there I was doing some learning on Python, Excel. You had taken my advanced Excel class, and R, and Pratik sir had taught me SQL, and forever indebted to him. So yeah, because SQL has been very instrumental in both my interviews. So yeah,
Very
and
nice.
then after that, after the course, the pandemic hit. So there was the course ended in around September 2019 or 2020.
Yeah, that was my next question to you. So, when you ended your studies and you ended the program, unfortunately, that was a time when COVID hit. And
Yes.
how did you utilize that COVID period in order to enhance your skill sets?
Yes, so during that time when we were stuck in our home, I had interned in three places actually. I had interned with Ivy once. After that, that was also a month long, 3 weeks program. After
Mm-hmm.
that, I had done an internship. That internship was on. I'm trying to think. That internship was on anime rating prediction. That one,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yes.
after that, I had done another internship that was from the Spark Foundation. It was a basic linear regression model, very
Mm-hmm.
basic student marks prediction model that I worked on, and that was also a month time that I did. After that, I did one more internship that was in Technocolabs. It was basically a remote internship, but the company was, I think, in Indore, and we had done a very interesting NLP project on that. And
Okay.
so, though it was when I first heard that it was NLP, I was very skeptical as if I should do it or not, because I
Mm-hmm.
don't have a computer science background. So I don't know I don't know how much relevant it would have been, but because I didn't want to be sitting idle, that's why I thought I'll just take it up. And that had completed that had completed around July 2021. So after that, from 2021 July to September, I was appearing for interviews,
Mm-hmm.
and I appeared for quite a few interviews actually, and then for each interview, right now, so many interviews I gave, I can't remember, but
That's okay.
mostly mostly they were based on
Mm-hmm.
uh, and questions from linear regression and statistics, hypothesis testing, all these, because because the actually the interviews varied depending upon the role, not
Correct.
only statistics, but there were also other analytical roles
Mm-hmm.
for which advanced Excel was also required, and all these. But I landed this job in Chennai, in Vakil Search in around um, October end, because my joining was in November 8th.
Tell me
So
one
that,
thing, Trishi. You
yes,
spoke about the three internships that you do. Do you think that was an important thing that happened because of which your job search was better or your chances of clearing the interview was better? So, would you suggest people be a little proactive, do internships, get your hands dirty
absolutely.
with the data?
Absolutely, ma'am. Spot on. Because we might learn things, but real life data can be dirty, and we need to be working with it. We need to have more exposure. So because these days it's very competitive, and everybody wants to be in the data industry, so we have to stand out. And for that, uh, I had to have industry based experience, and that can only be possible uh, before having any experience through internships.
To
So
internships.
I think the internships, all the three internships were very instrumental, and I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity. Uh, so
Another question to you is like, you got in a very unique company to begin your career with, Vakil Search, which is like a legal team. You come from economics background, you did analytics. Typically people ask me this question that I come from a particular background, can I get into analytics? And I keep telling them industry doesn't matter anymore. In fact, I have a student right now, she's also working in a legal firm. Her question was also the same. After this experience, would I get a job in data analytics? So, what clicked in that org now? What was your role in that organization, and how, coming from economics background and knowing analytics, you fitted right in the entire system?
yes, ma'am. Basically, the legal tech company that I had worked in, Vakil Search, which has now changed its name, it's become Zolvit now. Basically there are various legal services that are provided in the company, and so because customer based data only used to come in, and
Okay.
I was a data analyst there. I was a junior data scientist there. So basically, ma'am, the the all the customer related data, revenue related data, all the company's entire data used to be handled. And I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, I was given quite a bit of responsibility there, because uh, what we used to do there, if I can explain to you,
Hmm.
the data would get captured in some database like Postgres, and
Mm-hmm.
later on it was switched to Elasticsearch. And through that live data, I used to connect the the data present in Elasticsearch database to my Microsoft Power BI, sometimes through Python, sometimes through advanced Excel sheet, but mostly through Python, because the data was live. So while if I had to create a dashboard, and all the data that I had to extract, I had to use Python for it. So so basically, there can be I used to give I created a revenue dashboard. I created a customer identity dashboard, wherein if you click on customers, if you write a customer's name in the search bar, you can see how many services they have bought,
Mm-hmm.
how much revenue they have given us, the company, and the pattern in a way with respect to time, how they purchase. All these data would show in the customer identity dashboard. Then there was a revenue dashboard. So the entire data is from it's on a January February base,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I had to convert the entire data into fiscal year. So basically, if it can be different metrics like cumulative revenue, cumulative sales. So all the how many customers got converted, how many, all these metrics were important and crucial, and I got to do that because the data analytics team was not very big there, so I had a lot of opportunity to learn. So
Great.
basically, legal tech, I did not have anything to do with any legal decisions per se,
Correct.
but I used to be the data in the data. So
But in the data also, you would have to understand the business and what kind of, services, not in depth about what services they're provided, but what is the overall, what is the team, what is the company, what are the services that they're providing to their customer, what kind of customers we are getting. So a little bit of business knowledge would be required for that.
yes, ma'am, I'm sure you're correct, because different types of services are bought. So that there can be. So, for example, ma'am, I'll tell you. Suppose somebody wants to get a trademark registered. So that is a trademark registration service that they will buy, or somebody wants to
Mm-hmm.
get a GST and registration done. So these
Mm-hmm.
are different services provided by the company. So when a ticket comes in, we know at what service they are buying, and what is the status of the ticket. So these things would come in as a data point in the.
Correct. So, what kind of interview did you have for Vakil Search?
Okay, ma'am. So basically, firstly, they sent me an assignment. They
Mm-hmm.
sent me an assignment which I had to use. I had to do an exploratory data analysis for some work they had, a, a worksheet they had sent, and on that they had said to apply Power BI, but I used SQL. I That time I was not equipped with Power BI, so I did not know.
Hmm.
So I just used SQL, and they were happy with the ETA that I did using SQL. And after that, there was a round of interview uh, with uh, with the team that I was going to work, and that was second round. In that round, they asked me about the internship that I worked on, what I did in that internship, and after that there was a managerial round where the manager
Okay.
took the
All
interview.
right. And now let's talk about your current profile. So you're in
Uh,
HSBC again. You're in HSBC back in Calcutta again.
yes, so in Chennai I was there. Most of the time it was work from home in my previous role, but in February I went to Chennai and settled there. So after that, now I came back in Calcutta. Very happy to be back in my city, and here actually I got contacted by a recruiter at HSBC. They somehow came across my CV and wanted to take an interview. So I prepared for the interview in the way that actually in my IV class, in my IV Python class, I had worked on a credit card fraud detection project.
Yes.
Yeah, Pranjal had executed. He had taught us. So that was very instrumental, I would say. So because it was quite relevant for the team, like
Hmm.
the interviewers who took my interview. So I during the weekend I revisited and I redid the code, the entire code. I worked on it again. So and then in the interview, the first there were two rounds of interview. The first round of interview was mostly because it was a machine learning role. So there was a statistics questions.
Mm-hmm.
There were questions on hypothesis testing. There were puzzles also,
Mm-hmm.
um, and then they asked me about this project, something outside my CV. They asked me that is there anything you would like to say about outside your CV, if there is anything to add. So I told them about that credit card fraud detection project, and I what model I used there, why I use that model, why do I think that model is more efficient than any other model, and how accurate my model is. My model was where I came across that data, all this sort of questions. These were asked in the first round of interview, and in the second round of interview, I was asked some. It was conducted by uh, lead
Mm-hmm.
level, and they asked me questions based on inner join in
Okay. Sequel is back.
SQL is back. So forever indebted to sir. So yeah, so that was a 30 minutes interview, so that was
uh,
okay.
all right. So let me ask this for the people who are inspiring to be data analysts and have to have a good career like you have. What do you think are the key tool set that they absolutely need to know in today's era where companies are working on data science, not just the basic analysis. Now data science is popular. So what are the key skill set they need, not only in terms of the tools that we are learning, but in terms of soft skills also?
Soft skills, ma'am. I I have very limited experience as far as soft skills go, but I would say that continuously upskilling and having a very I was blessed with a very high paced environment, and that every time I would get I would get comfortable in something, I would be given a new kind of environment to work on. So we should always be uh, open to learning new things. That is very
Absolutely.
important.
Look forward to challenges.
Yes, ma'am. So I think that is very, very important in this era because things are developing and changing so fast.
And
And
what about the skill sets? Like which tools would you say this is like absolutely mandatory for a person to know to get into this industry? I know SQL is on top of your list.
but ma'am, Excel is also very important. Advanced Excel, whatever I learned from you, it was very instrumental. And I think it may not be directly contributing, but it gives me a uh, greater edge for having a good understanding of the data. When we look at data, we are looking at CSV files and Excel sheets. So it's important to be able to look and understand. And most importantly, I feel that paying attention to detail as an analyst, I think it's very important. We need to,
Absolutely.
uh, because one small error can give us a big difference. So that could be,
So I think Excel, SQL, and Python you would say is absolutely mandatory, and statistics. That's what I understood from your interviews in both the places. Statistics played a lot of role. Also, the kind of project, and not just telling that okay, I use this model in the project, but why I use this model and why not that model. That is very important understanding that we need.
yes, ma'am. At HSBC, they want to see if you understand through and through why a statistical model is being used. So not only knowing it externally, but also understanding the grammar and statistics behind its basic level. So, like if I, for example, if I told them that I use random forest, they asked me why and what random forest actually does. So that is
Hmm.
in-depth statistical question which we need to be equipped with. And
Absolutely.
so I would suggest one should learn statistics very well, and not if it is your in the curriculum, then it's good. But if it's not, you can always learn it. I remember in Ivy also we had an statistics classes which mostly covered very important parts only. They all the questions that she ma'am used to teach us would be important. Like for example, p-value, significance, all these things are important. So we can stick to that. So, yes,
Right. So, in order to summarize, what I've understood from our conversation is number one, industry is not important. If you have understanding of analytics and how to use it on a data, it could be any data. It works, right? You can crack the interviews. Number two, that important skill set to have Excel, SQL, and Python, statistics, very, very important. Number three, in terms of have a personality which wants to explore, upskill, take up a challenge, and that will only take you through the rest of the career path that we have, right?
yes, I'm definitely. I hope I am on the right track because I'm just learning, and I'm very grateful to you and Pratik sir. I would always say because Ivy at Ivy, I was looking at things haywire, but Ivy put me on a track. So I would always say that yes, everything where when we started our course, first it was advanced Excel, then it was SQL, then it was Python. So there is a progression in that which was followed, and that is also important as a beginner, as a learner, to not just jump into Python or something like a hard coding language at the first. So basically we need to know something more fundamental like Excel. And
Yeah, I think Excel
mm,
forms the base of all the data handling, even though, like you rightly said, it's might not be directly used in the organization, but it gives you a logical thought process of looking at the data and working with the data. I strongly believe that because I think in my case also Excel was the base, and from there I built up my entire profile. So if Excel wasn't there, probably other tools, learning other tools and implementing projects on that would have been difficult for me as well. So
yes, ma'am.
definitely, and do a lot of internships for the young folks who do not believe,
Definitely.
who feel I've done a certificate and that should land me a job. That doesn't work, right?
No, 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 no.
Case
Absolutely, ma'am.
studies,
We
projects,
need
absolutely required.
absolutely projects. I remember you telling me to add more projects, and I did that. Thankfully, I'm in a place now. I think it's very important to do internships because without getting our hands dirty in data, we cannot crack those interviews, which are very fundamental. And they will ask candidates that what kind of issues you faced. So
Hmm.
if you're unable to answer that, then I should be able to answer that. So it gives you an edge.
And another thing you said, which I kind of emphasize in all my sessions, that don't learn the how part. How part is easier if you miss, if you don't remember, there are notes, there are
Google it.
videos, there's so many resources. Google it, as simple as that. But why you are learning something, that's very important in today's time. That if I'm learning this, what's the use case for it? What does, why, where will I use it? When will I use it? Those are the more important concepts to focus on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Shashi, it was lovely talking to you, getting in touch again. All the best for your new job. And I'm sure with your smiling attitude and your, the attitude to learn more, upskill continuously, you will definitely have a very good career path.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's been a
All
pleasure. It's been a pleasure to be a part of IV, and thankfully I completed the course. So yeah, so forever indebted to you and Pratik sir. I will always mention that the progression that both helped us with is very rare and it's important. So thank you.
thank you so much. All right, take care. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You
Thank
too.
you.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.